Hello and welcome. The Construction Sport podcast is back, and today we have a very special guest, our very own second podcast with Construction Sport, but the first Construction Sport podcast.
Yeah, the first one was a dummy run.
Yeah, Back of the Van podcast.
Back of the van, yeah.
That's a good crack, actually. We can bring that up. That comes out a few times, actually. There's a few of those cases on that what we spoke about recently. But you going well, John? John Houlihan?
Yes, not bad. Safe, yeah.
Your old ScaffGap?
Yes.
The inventor of ScaffGap.
Yeah.
And where else are you as well? You're now as well working on your own health and safety side as well, wasn't it?
Houlihan Safety Services.
Houlihan Safety Services.
Yeah.
And you operate specifically mainly in the scaffold.
Mainly in the scaffold industry, but yeah, I do get called from time to time in other, areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been in the construction game a couple of weeks, couple of months?
Couple of
decades.
A few decades, yeah.
So you did the scaffold. Did you start as a scaffolder? I can't imagine you were talking about this.
Yeah, I was a scaffolder, yeah. I was a scaffolder for a long time.
What age did you get into that?
15.
Was you?
Yeah, 15 years old.
In London?
In London,
this one?
yeah.
And your background, but you're London Irish man, aren't you?
Yeah. My family are Irish, yeah.
And they were born and raised in London, though you were?
Yeah.
So you're real London Irish.
West London to East London.
Was you?
Yeah.
Whereabouts, west?
Ladbroke Grove.
Oh, was you? Yeah.
By Grenfell Tower.
Ah, well, there you go. Well, that's that comes back around. We'll get into that one.
Yeah.
Well, so you, as the London Irish boy, where were your family from over there?
Kildare.
Yeah.
County Kildare. Yeah.
Did you get over there much anymore?
Yes, I was there last week.
Oh, was you?
Visiting my dad's grave.
The Irish tan there.
Yeah.
Oh, was you? Yeah, he's buried over there.
Yeah. He's buried in the National Stud of Ireland, which is Kildangan Stud.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in there.
Is it? Yeah. Whereabouts is that in Ireland? My geography's not good enough.
Near Monasterevin.
And what part's that? West, east?
Kildare.
Yeah, I don't know that. I'm rubbish at it.
It's about 40 mile out of Dublin.
We're going to go on a tour around Ireland. We've said this already because we have, as Construction Sport, had a trip to Ireland, but I missed out because of a wedding.
Right.
We done the vintage tractor trip last year from what's the pub called in North London? I've stitched myself up now. Claddering.
Yeah. Hendon.
Yes.
Hendon.
Yeah.
Hendon, yeah.
We went from there to Liverpool on the tractors, 16 mile an hour vintage tractors.
How long did that take?
3 days.
Jesus.
3 days there, and then the boys done another 2 to 3 days on the other end.
Yeah.
From literally got a ferry over, and they went all the way through Northern Ireland and all the way down to Donegal. I missed out on the Irish bit. I was gay because I've only been Dublin on stag do's, and I know that's not the beauty of Ireland. There's a lot more to it than stag do, Temple Bar.
Yeah.
Apart from that, very good though.
Yeah. Too expensive Temple Bar.
Jesus, yeah. So that was it was amazing because my family, I found out doing a bit of before I went on it. I thought, what connections have we got? I've got to pull some out. I can't go on there and not have any connection to the Irish. And it turned out my great granddad and my great nan one was a Sharkey and an O'Neill. So they're from Donegal.
There you go.
Yeah, and they're tunnelling tigers, aren't they, up there? Yeah. And they're big ground workers, and I was ground workers, so that was, I thought maybe there was something in the genetics that sent me down the route that I'm in, but we never know.
You should have a DNA test.
Yeah, go down it. There was a couple of Donegal shirts in the thingy yesterday, the Super Trail. We went to a big bricklaying competition.
Oh, yeah.
Cut the yellow and green.
Was this the ice bucket challenge?
That we done that, the ice skip. Yeah, we had a little mini skip. Someone donated to us, tipping skips, gave it to us. Filled up with ice. Had ice delivered on the first day and ice delivered on the second. Yeah, got amongst it. Yeah, it was cold as well. I've done a few ice baths and got amongst it. That one was cold. I think because it was a small, compact area, there was so much ice in it. But the first day that it was boiling hot as well as daylight today actually, and with everyone in this exhibition hall, it was getting warm. So by the afternoon, people were going, "Can I just get in it?" And people wanted to get in it. So we had 50 people getting into it. I reckon.
No casualties, no.
No, nearly. There was one that a couple of kids, college.
Shock. Yeah.
A couple of college kids got told, Foxtrot Oscar out of it because they've got competitive. And this is it. The college tutor or teacher, whoever, said whoever stays in the longest gets 150 quid. I thought, you silly bastard. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You can only take so long at that temperature.
We said we've done it before, 7 minutes up to 10, but I know these guys are new. We said that 5 minutes max.
Yeah.
And then it was in the afternoon, so it had evened out a little. The temperature had risen a little bit. So they went to 8 minutes, and then the other ones were like, I'm staying longer. And then he went bright red in his nose, and his knees were bright red, and his ears were bright red, but his face was white. And then he just started going, there's a bit of shock was getting into it. I was like, get out. And he wouldn't get out. And then once he got out, I said, all of you, no more. You're taking the piss. I said, we're here to have a good time. So put your foot down every now and then, John.
You've got to be careful and all, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, because I say it's not, when your corpse is in the fucking skip, ain't you in trouble, is it? It's me. You're gone.
Heart attacks and everything.
Yeah, you just don't know, yeah, so that's why.
Temperature.
Yeah, we've done a bit of homework, done a bit of studying, and we spoke to a few teachers from the brickwork side of things, how to control it, and a bit of education outside before, because it is a risky thing.
Yeah,
it's beneficial, but it can take a turn. But yeah, so that was that, and but yeah, exhibition season I suppose is underway. Super Trowel, you want to get yourself there.
Yeah,
I think there will be a scaffold touch to it over the next couple of years. It is incredible. 3,000 people. They've got bricklayers. They do heats throughout the year and over in Ireland, in the UK and Ireland, and the fastest bricklayers of the heats come. So there's 14 of them, and they've got a stretch of walls to do. But they do a junior one. They do a masters one. I'm not too sure the details on that one. And they do the actual professional one. It's the fastest bricklayer in the UK. And it's based on the amount of bricks, but there's penalised. They get penalised for quality. And that quality thing is savage. If there's a chip on the brick and all that, they get knocked down big points.
Or the depth of the
depth of it. Or they're getting you call it. They get level up against it. My knowledge of bricklaying ain't great, but everything about it. What doesn't make it great?
You'd have some fun with scaffolders on that one.
Well, there is a scaffold competition, isn't there, as well? A few weeks ago, I saw that pop up. But it's amazing. But these guys, Super Trowel, they went from they done it over here. Ash is only down the road. Ash France is in Colchester. Joe Short is over in Kent, and then Jack's surname is Jack. I can't think of. Jack Dawson. He's in Dawson's Creek. I wouldn't know that one. Remember Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
I think it was. Or was it Jack Dawson? Was that Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic? Fact check that one. It's one of them, and that'll make me look even more sad. I know the cast of Titanic. But they've watched this big bricklaying competition in America.
Jack Dawson is Titanic.
Jack Dawson, Titanic. There you go. I need to bring that up with him then. Oh, he was in the ice yesterday as well. No wonder why he's good at it. Yeah. He's been in there 100 years.
He's used to it.
Yeah. We need to get a picture of him in the skip and get that ChatGPT edited into some kind of so they went over to America. They've seen this bricklaying competition in Vegas. Thought we can do this in the UK. They've brought it to the UK, done it at college. It went really well. Next year they've done it at the MK Dons Arena next to the stadium. And it grew and was really good. And then but then before that one last year, they went over to the American one to watch it live.
Oh,
and they had a Super Trowel t-shirts on. And this American guy who runs it was like, "What are you guys doing here with British guys and all that?" He said, "Well, we've got Super Trowel."
Yeah.
And they turned around and said, "Well, you guys think you're good?" He said, "Bring your winner over here next year." So the winner last year got flown to Vegas to compete in there. And I think one or two of the other lads went with them as well. Was like, "Can we enter it as well?" And took it on the global market. And now, yesterday, they had the fastest Australian one come over and the fastest American come over. Yeah. And the American fucking won it as well. The Yanks have come over and took our title. But we said that the guy who's won it the last 2 years is from Colchester, Charlie Collison. But he lost his crown yesterday. So the Americans took it. But a few people comments like, "Oh, this is not fair. The Americans come over and win it." I'm like, no, it takes it to an international audience now, doesn't it?
Swift Brickwork. Swift, they're based here, aren't they?
Yeah, Swift are around the corner. Yeah, because Vice, who sponsored it, Vice were a big. They do a lot of payroll and software for the lads on the ground. They deal with Swift. Yeah, so I was talking about it. They just literally between here and the A12.
I drove past them. I went, oh.
Oh, did you come in that way? Yeah.
Well, I went every way. All the roads are closed. I've done a tour of Malden.
Got to see it all. See what we do for you. Scenic route. But yeah, so that is all cool. But the scaffold world then. So you'll sit on a few boards as well. You're part of a...
Yeah, I'll sit on the NASC Health and Safety Committee.
That's the National Access...
Yeah, that's good. They obviously write guidance and everything for the scaffolding industry. Yeah, that's going well.
Yeah, for sure.
We have meetings all over the country. Birmingham and places, but
I think a lot of people, I think it's just have gone. I think scaffolding is just scaffolding, but yeah, it's access, isn't it? Really, access into
it is very complicated. Structures get built. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So what's the major projects you've been onto over your lifetime, John?
Well, loads.
Yeah,
too many. Too many.
Did you ever do that amongst House of Parliament stuff when they done Big Ben the other year?
No,
Did you ever get up there?
No, I've never done that.
That was up there for a few years, wasn't it?
House of Lords and stuff like that. Big projects on the South Bank. I've been involved with McAlpine, Mace.
Yeah.
But lately, the biggest one was Grenfell.
Yeah.
But I was there on a health and safety kind of role.
Yeah.
So I weren't actually on the tools, but I mean, I haven't been on the tools for, since 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But,
going on to that then, the Grenfell one, because have you watched the Netflix programme?
Yes.
Yeah. I bet it's interesting for you knowing was there a lot of things you thought that ain't quite right, or that was right, or that's not been reported?
No, I mean, the programme itself, Grenfell, what's it called? Grenfell Uncovered, is it?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, that delves into the political side of things and how the actual fire started. And, I mean, it's criminal, really.
Yeah. There was a guy at the exhibition yesterday from Kingspan on his own on a stand, and I even thought to myself, you're a fucking brave man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're not welcome around West London, are they?
No.
Those companies.
Well, the main one is Arconic.
Arconic,
yeah. But the ACM, the aluminium composite material they used for that cladding, it failed every test going.
Yeah.
Years and years before it was actually used on Grenfell.
Yeah.
So.
And
reportedly
that lady was flagging it up, wasn't she, before reports to that other fire a number of years.
Even the community around Grenfell, I mean, they were pretty strong.
Yeah, because that guy was raising it beforehand, wasn't it?
Brilliant.
So there's I'm not sure if you've seen it. B1M, Fred Mills. I'm not sure you know that name. The guy he done a program on it as well. You've seen that one? You did watch it, yeah, good.
I've watched loads of it,
Yeah, because I was with him last week and he was talking about it. And he said that guy, because that guy was on both documentaries, he's been on a few. But fair play, he had it in writing. He called this, didn't he?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of our problem with things. So how much is people shouting at the moment saying that this is wrong. But why is no one listening?
Well, from a health and safety kind of role that I'll get that all the time.
Yeah.
Because most companies and most scenarios are all reactive, rather than proactive.
Yeah. So in relation to the fire, when did your phone go off to say, John, we need you at Grenfell?
Well, I was working for my own company, but I was consulting for Matteson Scaffolding, and at the time,
the main scaffolder for the scaffold that went up on Grenfell, Matteson.
Yeah, Matteson. Yeah. So Matteson were employed by Waits as the call-out emergency service, scaffold service for London.
Okay.
So the whole 32 boroughs of London, Matteson kind of were in the frame for doing all that.
Oh, so you have like an emergency call-out?
They were on call 24 hours.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And they would have a fully loaded lorry waiting at all times.
Really, yeah.
And they could guarantee they'd be on site within 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, how Matteson actually got in there. Waits were the principal contractors there. And they called us in and we were on site immediately. They had a division and they're like hand-picked men that actually done that kind of work,
Yeah.
So they would guarantee they'd be on site within 2 hours, and that's how they really took up Grenfell.
Yeah.
They were on site, I think, 2 days after the disaster.
2 days, really?
2 days, yeah. I was there.
There must be a lot of heat coming out of it still then, wasn't
there?
There
was smouldering away.
Yeah.
So we were on site and then obviously had to put a plan together in kind of phased way of going about it. All the scaffold was designed. So obviously that was, that would be
designed for Grenfell itself.
The actual structure, yeah. So
who's that down to put a design together within 48 hours? Is there, I suppose, there's someone within Waits supply chain?
No, not in Waits supply chain. Every scaffold firm would have their own own kind of design team, if you like.
So it's down to that Matteson's as well to design it as well as
procure that and get that sorted as fast as possible. But the initial thing was, I mean, Grenfell, it obviously went up. And then when we went in there, our first job was to erect protection gantries.
Yeah.
Because, yes, the building has been burnt, but it was still bits falling off it.
Okay, yeah.
So scaffolders and such couldn't work underneath that because of the risk of stuff falling, debris falling down on them. And then they had sentry points as well for the police, and they had to be protected as well. So
how do you put that in place without risking something land on your head?
Well, exactly. Well, you'd have spotters, and the obviously monitoring the weather conditions.
Yeah,
making sure the wind weren't, high enough to, and if there was anything falling, everyone was on radios.
Yeah.
So it was all kind of communicated that way. So you're minimising or mitigating the risk as much as possible. And then we erected all the protection walkways and sentry points and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next phase was to erect a tower from ground to full height with a hoist attached to it.
Okay.
So that the search and rescue teams could go in the buildings and retrieve any body parts and bodies. And
so this is what strikes me as well. That the programme, you don't realise the first people in there wasn't the search and rescue teams. The first people up there seeing it, scaffolders, construction workers.
We're usually the first and last on any job.
Yeah.
We're the last to take...
First, during, and after. And then onwards after that, the maintenance teams. Like you say, called out.
Exactly.
Called out teams.
So Grenfell went up in kind of 3 stages, if you like. It was first the protection measures, secondly the search and rescue teams, giving them access as quickly as possible to all the floors, and to use a hoist, a passenger hoist, to retrieve any bodies and body parts. And so the team of scaffolders in there, then once that was done, then they concentrated on taking up the scaffold all around the building, all the way up. And in between that, they built a chapel out of scaffolding with a viewing window for families, bereaved families, to come to, so they could view.
Okay, so the general public can't see in, but there's a viewing window in a chapel where people can.
Yeah, we built the scaffold out, the chapel out of scaffolding, and it was all hoarded and made nice. And then you had religious people, from all different religions, come into that little. They made it into a really nice, place.
Yeah, because it's hugely multicultural.
Yeah, with
building.
a big viewing window, so they could look at the building.
And think about that,
and then lay flowers and whatever. And then we built stages and whatever, for... But, it was a very interesting, challenging project in that it weren't just a project. You had political pressure, you had emotional stuff going on, you had bereaved families visiting, you had, so there was lots of factors that made that job or project very challenging.
Did you, were the scaffolders given a hard time, or were the workers being given a hard time by the community, even though they're only there to...
No.
That it was quite respectful in that respect,
The only hard time the scaffolders got was from the press.
Really?
They would follow them. Yeah, if the scaffolders went off site, so if they went to a cafe to have breakfast, they would be followed by the press, and the press would sit next to them, sit close by them, just to earwig the conversations. Yeah. So they could nick stuff, for their own.
And that was obviously happening as well, wasn't it? Next thing you know, someone's discussed it over a fry-up, and next thing you know, I said that yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone had to be extremely careful. But the mental health, I mean, that side of it on that job was.
You don't get, and I'm thinking in my head, is there any the courses for construction workers to be working in a high pressure environment like that? You know what I mean? But not just for high pressure and the pressure of program, an emergency case, isn't it? They're almost like you say, you got a call out team. You need like the special forces of construction, don't you?
Well, you do. If you
to factor
look
in everything you just said, where you go, what you do.
If you look at the firefighters, their training, what they go through, but you got all the physicality stuff of that. But the mental side of things, I mean, it's. But then, how would you react in that situation? You probably wouldn't know until you was in that situation.
Yeah.
How would you react in a fire? I don't know.
You train
till I'm in it.
You train all day long, didn't you?
You could lose the head. You could do all sorts of things. So how do you know? So, yeah, you can only mitigate or kind of prepare someone, if you like, for this is what you're going to be up against.
Yeah.
And yes, they're aware of it, and they'll say, "Oh, yeah." But until they're actually in that position, you won't get a full.
Yeah.
It's like I used to do a lot of licensed asbestos training. So I got the license training, but then came away from it thinking, really, we need to rig up a simulated real-life scenario.
Yeah.
So that scaffolders would be aware, being fully, masks, they're restricted in a lot of ways, and then put them in a real-life situation and see how they react.
Yeah.
And the findings of that was a lot of them, I'm not doing that. Where beforehand, with the license training on its own, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But then put them into a simulated training environment, they would soon realise.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And you'll probably see this as well, even in the mental health space as well, and I'm not out there asking for everybody to cry their stories to me, because I can't handle it in my head. Everyone's story, because you're raw jar and there's only so much room in it, you know what I mean? And you're bound right, it's like literally, I can go and talk about it all day, but until people, and I've done a talk at somewhere, and then someone's come over to me and gone, "Oh, thanks you, you've really helped me, this and that. By the way, this happened to me." And in my head, I'm going, fuck. And then I go home and I didn't sleep properly at night. Yeah, and that's why I've knocked on the head going and talking about my story on sites.
Counsellors get cancelled themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there is time limits of how long they can actually practice for.
Yeah.
Without a break from it.
And I won't get into the details of the name, but it's out there. That Back of the Van podcast, we had a gentleman on there who spoke about what he does. And he goes around speaking with big groups of people and all that. Yeah. 3 months later, I got a call, he's taken his own life. And he was probably the week or two around that time we spoke. Yeah. And he's done so much good. He did so much good.
And you might not realise. No. You might not realise it's affecting you.
Yeah.
But your subconscious is taking it in.
Yeah, definitely. And that literally it, and you can see it. And I've always thought this now, and that video is always up there. I'm not going to go and promote it and say the reasons why or what and my views on it, but it is there. And I do look back at it every now and go, he was the happiest bloke. He was such a nice guy. Yeah. And he's doing so much good. But and I can see it all day long. There's multiple people doing these talks and stuff. But it's because they've got good hearts. They want to help people, but they're not realising all that, this coming out of their mouth, or the stuff what's then coming in.
It's affecting,
and them stories, like you say, are dark. Yeah.
So as scaffolders, I mean, what's that tragic event that happened in 2017, Grenfell Tower, to actually work there as scaffolders?
Yeah.
There were guys, obviously, normal scaffolding, going to work, doing the job. Now they're on that job. And how are they going to respond to that? Yeah. Who knows till you put them there?
Yeah.
In hindsight, it would have been nice to prep people, but time was of the essence there.
Yeah.
So they were put in there. The emergency team on mats and scaffolding, there weren't enough of them, really, for that job.
Yep.
They were all there. And them guys, they're used to being in, that environment.
Yep.
But the rest of them, obviously. So upon joining that job, a scaffolder, they were handed a leaflet from the principal contractor during the induction stage about mental health.
Yeah.
But all right, all well and good, great. But then a few months down the line, it became evident that that leaflet weren't as effective as it really should have been.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, this isn't just a pop into another
job. And I noticed stuff going on that weren't normal. You know,
behaviour-wise from the guys.
Behaviour-wise from the guys, and there was one serious incident, and that kind of put the nail in the coffin for me. So then I instigated stuff. I produced impact assessments, questionnaires for each guy, and I got all them back, got them all filled out, and you know how this is affecting you, how that is affecting you, blah blah blah. So I measured it all and collected all the data, and then I realised they need professional help here.
Yeah, you know? Professional as well. Yeah, not just a talk,
not just a leaflet or nothing. So I informed Waits what I was doing. I informed Mattison's, and I got a guy down from Scotland, Jerry. He was from LifeWorks, but he worked. He was a policeman for 30 years, but he'd worked on the Lockerbie disaster.
Yeah.
He'd worked on loads of disasters that has happened in this country. So we got him. I got him down anyway, and he came down, and we done a group session. And then out of the group sessions that we done, if anyone stood out to him that he thought they need, one-to-one, he would highlight them, and then have a chat and recommend,
Yeah.
So, and that happened quite a bit with the guys. I mean, what they were seeing, the scaffolders on there, body parts, body bags, all the search and rescue teams.
This isn't one or two or just a couple of guys. This is people of all walks of life.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to tell you some of the little stories. I mean, it wouldn't be fair on the people of Grenfell, but it weren't good. You know? And how does a normal construction worker in that environment deal with that? And it's hard.
And their construction, they've got the scaffold tickets, I suppose, but their tickets and scaffolding are about putting the scaffold up.
They don't cover,
The CSCS card doesn't cover that, does it? Yeah. But people are seeing this.
So it's and it's very similar. Say, I don't know, a terrorist attack or something, and Mattison's have been involved with that as well. But so we had all that going on, and then the press, all the politics, the news. As well as trying to build a project,
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then...
Are you guys kind of, is there routes that you guys can only talk down in terms of what you're seeing on the job? You're told, don't speak to the press, don't speak to the community, only speak to the superiors?
Waits had a Mickey Mouse disclaimer thing, but going on. Yeah.
That would be before ChatGPT.
Trying to convince everyone that they're not allowed to do this and they're not allowed to do that, but who's to,
You can't control that, can you?
You can't. I mean, in fairness, all the guys, we did have our moments on the job, but considering the volume of work there.
So the scaffold itself,
they were very good.
Yeah, because I don't know my quants in terms of scaffolding, but there's a couple of lorry loads going into that, isn't there? There's, like you say, a few more gangs than just that call-out team.
Well, yeah, you had the main scaffold, but then you had it again because there was a double scaffold. It's like a monoflex screen.
Yep. Well, still up today.
But still up today, yeah. And then you've got the Love Arts and stuff. But that was put up by abseilers, the Love Arts.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, they got...
So that scaffolding up there, is that you say is it the standard kind of the width away from the building, or is it a lot wider than the actual building itself?
Yeah, well, you had where the building was burnt, it did go in and out, but that's nothing really in scaffold terms. But the interesting fact with the scaffolding on there was how it was tied in, because the facade scaffold, we had no facade to tie into.
Yeah.
You did on a couple of elevations, but in the main, it was all burnt. So what are you actually tying to?
Ash, ultimately, I suppose.
So the central core of Grenfell Tower, the staircase.
Yep.
It was all concrete. It was all heavy concrete. So
is that where the lift shaft is as well?
Yeah. So the ties were like the spokes of a wheel, the spokes of a bicycle wheel.
Yeah.
All the ties were like beamed in.
Were they? Yeah.
Tied to the ceilings, tied to the core of the building. So that was interesting in the fact of the kind of scaffold specification of how it was tied in. But it was all tied in. So
you would, I suppose, I don't know, straight away. In my head, I was like, do you just go around the building and it just holds together as a square? But I suppose, that's obviously not structurally. With a bit of wind, that would still go,
Well, the building itself was at risk of collapsing as well.
Yeah, oh, crikey, yeah.
24/7, they had prisms measuring the movement of the building.
Monitoring,
because next door to Grenfell, you had Latimer Road train station. Mm-hmm. That was still operating.
So you've got engineers in there as well, monitoring all that all the time.
Kids' school down below.
Yeah.
If that tower went, so that was measured, that was monitored strictly.
Yeah.
The vibration of the trains, everything.
Yeah, because the tube, I can only imagine there's a tube station underneath, is there? Or somewhere very, very near.
Latimer Road, yeah. So if you look at Grenfell, if you look at the love hearts, you'll see little black dots on each love heart, one black dot, and they're cameras.
Are they? Yeah.
Measuring the, the movement of the building. So, because over time it's been up, it's 8 years.
Yeah.
There was talks of putting a roof over the top of it to protect it against the weather.
Yeah.
But that never happened. So all the rain and everything is just going through the building. So the building
going somewhere.
Yeah, the building over time will deteriorate. So there is a risk of increased risk, if you like, of that building.
Mm. Well, I can think of when you said it's tied into that core, that's someone's job to do that, isn't it? To walk in there, to drill into that core.
Yeah, we had to be inside the building, everywhere. Yeah. I was as well. I was in every flat in Grenfell.
Yeah.
But then that rises other issues, drilling into concrete that could be asbestos, and stuff like that.
Because it's built around those times, the amount of it that would dust,
On the facade, there was plenty of asbestos.
Was there?
Yeah. And that was a factor.
Yeah. Was it very wet in there as well from it, or was it just been hosed down? Or?
Yeah, they did. Water suppression on a lot of it. But you had, at the initial stage, you had the police. There was hundreds of police stationed there.
Yeah.
You had the HSE, you had the search and rescue teams, and you had the forensic teams.
Yeah.
And they would go, the forensic teams would siphon through every last bit of dust and debris in every part of that building.
Yeah.
It was meticulous.
Yeah. And they've probably been escorted by engineers as well, are they? Or people escorted around to make sure it's safe for them to what they're doing?
But that was a grudge of mine as well, with the police and everything there. We was a construction site. It was a construction site, all hauled off. The police arrived and they were like, they had their own shower units. They had their own private caterers.
Yeah.
They had their own, welfare facilities, and it was all proper.
Was it? Yeah.
But the construction workers were like the poor relations.
Was it?
We had one toilet. We had the minimum, which was a bugbear of mine, And I was.
Why is that? We had a report last week from someone saying the site's got shut because of it in a main tier 1 in London, and you've got conditions like this.
Well, exactly, and on a site where, if you look at why Grenfell occurred, through the failings in construction, the political system, blah, 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 and then we're on a site and then we're like the poor relations.
Yeah. You're still cutting corners.
We're on the coalface. We're on the coalface of that building. But
quite simply, to the point, coalface.
The welfare facilities being bare minimum required by the CDM regulations.
Yeah.
A microwave and a kettle and a toilet, and somewhere to sit. Where you walked 20 yards into the police setup.
Yeah.
5-star.
Yeah.
5-star.
So even at the point of constructing the scaffold, they're still cutting corners on Grenfell.
Yes.
In a way, isn't it? For the welfare of the people.
Yeah. And I was I went in there one day and sat down in amongst them all and had me dinner.
With the police?
Yeah. All the food was free of charge in there. Didn't have to pay for it.
No press sitting next to them taking the notes, were there?
No.
So and our lads are still out there. So our lads constructed, in the cafes, spending there 5, 6 quid, 10 quid, whatever it is.
On Grenfell, we didn't have a proper canteen. They had to either put it in the microwave, boil a kettle to make a cup of tea or whatever.
Whilst covered in fucking ash.
There was a lot of boys that went off site to have, a proper breakfast or whatever.
That is cooked for food, yeah.
And that's where then the media were on them, and they were under pressure a bit to.
So then there's pressure from them on the lads, don't talk at the calf. So we go, well, we can nip this in the bud. Fucking put a calf on site for us and look after us, isn't it? We'd have to go elsewhere then.
But it's across the board, isn't it?
It's going on today, right, yes, exactly it.
Yeah, welfare facilities for it's the way people are treated, and it's 2025. Jesus, it's not 1970, is it?
Yeah.
And
did the fire brigade have their own stations as well alongside that? Or was it emergency services were all in one big one?
They were all in one big area. And
so emergency services had a joint one?
Yeah.
So there's different organisations there come together?
Women, you had all sorts in there. But they were all properly looked after as people should be.
Yeah.
Not
in a humane way.
Nothing against them. I mean, that's how it should be. But construction workers
notoriously
should be treated equally. The disparity there is unbelievable.
Yeah. We're seeing and it's, the crowd with it when, we've known each other a few years. It's the fuel that fires what we're doing, you know what I mean? Because people aren't getting it. Oh. We were at Super Trail yesterday and you had 3,000 passionate bricklaying background construction people who want to be there because they are passionate.
Yeah.
You had the guys who were competing, and I know them all from following online. They're all athletes, pretty much. They are healthy,
fit,
strong.
boys,
They've been training this year to do that competition.
Well,
they realise, they realise to put a brick. It's good, it's fast, but you need to be walking along with that at a pace. And they're athletes, no doubt about it. And we said yesterday, the heat was on there. They are athletes. And these people are professional people, and passionate. And I felt going, where is the construction industry's leadership and that coming in? Why aren't they in this room seeing this is construction? This is what it could be if we look after people and train and promote the way these people look after themselves.
I mean, you as a person, mentally, you go on the site, you see the police, the emergency services, they're on site as well.
Yeah.
And all their setup and how they're getting looked after, private catering, the whole shebang. Oh, that's not for you. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. Referencing Titanic again, actually.
Straight away,
the class parity.
Your back's up.
Yeah.
Why are they different to me?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
I think
it was a great opportunity to literally say, bang, look after.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are sites. I'll go on a lot of sites and, some of the standards are excellent.
Yeah.
But then I'll go on another lot of sites and it's just archaic.
I said to someone the other day that the simple thing, you could make your site canteen so much better by putting TV on and putting Only Fools and Horses on. And just putting fucking porridge on. But all these people know all these programs from old. Because people will get a little bit in the stand and they enjoy being in that room. Instead, you're going to go in there, sit on a table, eat your bread. And if there's a TV on there, it's telling you about how many incidents have been on site in the last 24 hours. You think, it's just fucking mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's all geared. You can do stuff, obviously, to enhance mental health with people. And they could be simple little things,
Yeah. And again, it is because we've had it before with our own team. So that lads, we're going to go out. We'll take you all out for a good night out. Say thank you and all that. And we couldn't get the dates sorted out for everyone, please everybody. Yeah. And they said, don't worry about it. Just buy us breakfast on Friday. Yeah. And that was enough.
Yeah. That's all they want.
Yeah. Just a little bit of appreciation.
It's like I do a lot of work with scaffold companies, but I say to them, that health and safety wise, I mean, my input, yes, I could be an armchair critic all day long.
Yeah.
But we've got to look at the positive sides of companies and what they do well.
Yeah.
And really promote people within the business that are doing the right thing and reward them for it, rather than being, on the negative all the time,
Because that's what's going to inspire the next generation coming through as well, isn't it?
Well, that's right. And most people don't want money or don't want this, but they want recognition within the workplace.
Yeah.
So that pat on the back, I mean, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
For
sure. But in reference back to Grenfell, how long did it take to get the scaffold up?
Oh,
on there,
quite a while. Best part of a year.
Was it really
going on? Yeah,
yeah.
But at all times, I mean, the scaffold went up and then it had to be sheeted from the bottom up.
Okay, yeah.
So that you can't see the scaffold. Obviously, it's all hidden behind the sheeting.
Yeah.
But then you had pressures. I mean, there was that many different people involved from the community side as well, where the actual visual aesthetic look of Grenfell mattered greatly.
Yeah.
And
it's a standing memorial at the moment, isn't it?
Understandably so as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So the boys that done the sheeting would do it from the bottom, but once the scaffold was completed, it was a continuous job changing the sheeting, because the sheeting, because of the area, London, it would become dirty quite quickly.
Yeah.
So once they hit the top, they would start at the bottom again and change the whole. So it was a continuous process, and I would say it still is today.
Is it? Yeah.
Because Grenfell, if you look at Grenfell, it's immaculate.
Yeah.
The scaffolding is, tidy.
And air quality will just make that dirty itself, I suppose, London, isn't it?
Yeah. So the amount of sheeting that, that's going on there is unbelievable. And it's all fire rated stuff, so it's not.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm just actually thinking out, what I've not thought about before is that scaffolding's still got to come down.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see the canteens been. Because I can only imagine the police will be positioned there again.
Well, they're different people now that's taken over the job from Waits.
Yeah.
They finished their tender there and other people have moved in.
Yeah. So I think I met the two directors of the company that have got the project. I can't remember, DE? Deconstruct. Yeah. They were at an event with the leadership group the other week and they were on our table.
Yeah.
But what an opportunity now to say, right, because again, I'm sure there'll be police positioned there full time when the emergency services will be there again with their canteens.
That'll be taken down in kind of piecemeal. It'll be very, very slow coming down.
Yeah. And that'll come down with the demolition, I suppose, won't it? Yeah.
I mean, on the job, when we were there, the operations manager for Matson Scaffolding, Marlon de Ritter, I don't know if you know him.
Marlon de Ritter, no. Great name.
And then you had the guy that was the contract supervisor there, Ian Thompson, very good man. Yeah. He was running things there. But even the inspectors on the job for Grenfell, it was a continuous job.
Yeah.
Because statutory scaffold inspections are every 7 days.
Yep.
But you couldn't inspect Grenfell and all the different elements to it in, once a week, if you like.
Yeah.
So the inspectors on there were on there full time.
Yeah.
So it was a continuous job. So they would go to one area one day and then another area another day, another area another day. So it was a continuous job.
Yeah.
And the top inspector in London at the time, he was working for Mattison's, Scottish guy, very good, Frank Plunkett. He was heading up the inspections there. Very good friend of mine.
Yeah. Was there a big turnover in staff for the scaffolding over that year?
Yes, we had a lot of guys who couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
They cracked up.
Yeah, and that could be a day or two or 6 weeks. Yeah.
That could be a week. That could be,
Yeah.
And that was why it was crucial to put in place that support mechanism for mental health. And it was more, what I focused on was more not their mental health coming into it, but how they would be affected by it, working in that environment. So you could look down the lines of PTSD, how it's affected you.
Yeah, 100%.
So that assessment that I put together to use was like an impact assessment, but it was mainly based on PTSD.
Yeah.
So what you've seen, what you're working in, how that's affected you,
to know the signs yourself,
and what you can do about it.
Yeah.
But an interesting fact: whilst all the time I was working at Grenfell, I never seen any wildlife flying over Grenfell.
Really? Yeah.
No birds.
They say that about Auschwitz as well. I've heard that over there.
It was, and walking into Grenfell Tower and going up them stairs it was eerie.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. The noises come out in the structure itself, or was it just kind of just silence?
Yeah, you had the weather, but it was silence. Yeah, and it was a damp. Yeah.
And I'm sure, you can only when you walk. Yeah, I don't not even imagine it. You're seeing it, but knowing the noises, what would have been happening.
Yeah.
Over such a period of time.
But during the course of the works, obviously, on the facade there was loads of asbestos, and that was all loose and crumbling. And
you hear much health problems now? Because I know the fire brigade have come forward and said about health issues. I've seen that online, and but construction don't hear nothing about them.
There was a thing called the Grenfell cough.
Really?
Yeah. That a few of the guys developed, and they only got it working at Grenfell. Not that was asbestos related, but it could have been anything.
Yeah,
it could have been
the toxins of anything. Yeah. Any
there was lots of stuff going on there, like in the atmosphere. But one of my concerns was asbestos, and I stood all the guys down once on there for 4 days.
Yeah,
and it all went off.
Really,
Mattisons, and weights, and you can't do that. Blah blah blah. But
for the sake of the guys' health, mentally and physically.
Well, in there was an area on site that was heavily contaminated with asbestos, and the guys working not for weights. One guy he's died now, but he was.
How did he die, John? Let me ask you.
No, only natural. He wasn't well. Nothing to do with Grenfell.
Yeah, I was thinking you said it.
But he was a consultant, a construction project guy, and they got him down from Scotland to run Grenfell, and he did, but on behalf of the principal contractor. So him and the construction managers, I went, it was like war with me. And I told them categorically, I said, you can't put men to work. They used to go into Grenfell, yes, they would have the coveralls on. They would all be face fitted.
So lads are all working face fit masks all the time.
FFP3 filters. But when you're going, yes, that's okay for non-licensed work. But when you're going into an area that potentially could be contaminated to a level that would make it licensable work, it becomes a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
Your decontamination procedures and all the rest of it, transit routes to and from, your area of work, and the boys trained in decontamination procedures through a 3-stage, kind of a carry on, and then entering and exiting the area and all the rest of it. It's a totally different thing. So I said, well, I'm not at the top. We had probably 70 scaffolders working at Grenfell.
Yeah,
that was at the most.
70.
Wow. But then you would run. Normally it would run around 30, 40 men on there. So I stood all these guys down because I said that there's no way they can go to work in that area without you either confirming the level of contamination to that area, and you can only do that by analysis. So they were up in arms because I'd stopped all the men working. Mattisons were telling me I'd cost them X amount. I said, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just, the your men's health is more important than
your budget,
your bottom line.
Yeah.
And I talked them round, and they did see sense in the end. So Waite said to me, what do you require? And I said, well, we need to get an analyst on site.
Yeah.
And get him fixed up here on site, so he's here all the time. I want personal monitors on the men.
Yeah.
To measure the fibre content in the air. They said, yeah, but you're working outside. I said, yes, we are working outside, but we're sheeted in.
Yeah. So you're inside.
So basically, we're inside.
We're making outside inside.
Yeah. So that was fun. So it didn't go down too well with everyone, but I didn't care,
Yeah.
But then they exiled me off the job after that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So, sticking your head above the parapet.
Yeah.
Which I did, I don't care.
For the right reasons.
For the right reasons, yeah, obviously. But I've since found out, that following that, after being exiled, they called me back and I had about 3 or 4 meetings with, the kind of authority on Grenfell. And they wanted to know how they were going to change the scaffold boards. I said, yeah, they're all contaminated.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, we know that, but how are we going to change them? We want you to help us with it.
Yeah.
After being exiled from Grenfell, after standing the men down for 4 days, I was a bit reluctant to really help, but the better side of me see through that. And I said, right on. So I said, well, I'll write a plan of work as to how you're going to remove the scaffold boards under licensed conditions.
Yeah.
And what needs to be in place. I put it all together, and they went to another meeting with them. That's brilliant, blah, blah, blah. But I've since found out, since it was taken over, that none of that happened.
Really? Yeah.
But it all back down to money again.
Yeah.
But who knows? I weren't there, so I can't really say.
Who's ultimately paid Matson's for that? Who's the obviously Waits have, sorry, but who's paying Waits that?
Well, that will come out of taxpayers' money.
Yeah, taxpayers.
Yeah.
Emergency service, some emergency relief fund or something, I suppose, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
And that you would like to think they just say this is how much it will cost. But
it was ongoing costs.
Yeah, but in my head it's like, okay, if that's how much it's going to cost, and they've not done that because of cost, surely someone's got to say, no, this is what it's going to cost, full stop, isn't it, to do it?
Yeah.
Or is there money being taken out of the pot for that? Go, yeah.
Who knows?
It screams, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To be so that scaffolding now do Matteson still own that scaffolding?
I don't know.
Yeah, so is it down to them to bring down, or is it just kind of they've been paid off for it?
Usually, if you put scaffold up, then you allow a period, say 4 to 6 weeks, free hire, and then you start charging a higher period. So Matteson's would have entered into a contract like that.
Yeah.
But I did know at one stage they wanted to buy the scaffold off of Matteson's. Whether that happened or not, I don't know, because I was exiled, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, it makes you think if they own it, they own it. If they hold out, they get the job to bring it down.
But I think Deconstruct took over, their arrangements I'm unclear of. So
they've taken over, someone else has taken over as such.
I don't know the politics, and I wouldn't like to comment on that. Because,
I can only imagine from a friend of mine who went to a job after a few years, or got asked to go and clear some scaffolding after a couple of years. It ain't easy to take down after it's been up for a long time, either is it, with nuts and bolts all rusting?
Well, that's right. And obviously the increased use of these
impact drivers,
drills, over tightening the fittings and everything else. You go and try and take down a scaffold that was put up with an impact drill using a spanner. You got no chance.
Yeah.
Because everything's and it's tightened, over tightening.
Yeah.
And then when they strip them off, they strip the bolt off the fitting and must cost fortunes.
Yeah. That's all going in, obviously going in the bin, and everything's going to, you say that.
Well, no, you could wash all that scaffold down. I mean, that can be cleaned. The boards would have to go to landfill if they're contaminated.
Yeah.
And removed by licensed, waste.
Yeah.
So, there was some shenanigans at Grenfell, but...
Have you seen much change now then going forward? Because that's only half, I say, in terms of scaffold project, it's only halfway there, aren't we? It's got to come down, but...
It's got to come down, but that'll come down floor by floor.
Yeah.
And the scaffold will then be dismantled progressively with the floors.
It's going to be another year.
It'll be a slow process, that.
Yeah.
So
take it in again, all those people, the community, the religions... all these different things.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be done. It's so sensitive, and your heart goes out to it. I mean, them people. Oh,
yeah,
terrible, really.
Yeah, especially when you look at
But if you look back with the politics
I was just say politics.
The deregulation, if you like, and who was it? what's he, the politician at the time?
Yeah. The great big fella.
One in, one out, and one in, two out, and whatever, the regulations.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's all kind of... And
that was like he was doing, let's deregulate this industry.
Yeah, and what's happened since Grenfell, obviously, we've seen the Regulatory Reform Fire Safety Order 205, that's been under review. Judith Hackett of the HSE, she carried out a review, and now you've got the Fire Safety Act being introduced, or the Building Act as well. So there's two main pieces of legislation since.
There's BBC Sounds podcast on it. There was went into do detail on it, and I think it was Judith Hackett. Forgive me if it's the wrong name, but I think she even come back and said in her report when saying this industry. So what was the word? She said it's so dislodged. The kind of it's just all over the shop. You can't. There's no governance to it
at the moment. They're investing. The government are saying they're going to put so much into training, so many millions.
Yeah,
fine.
600 million.
Look at how people are employed in the construction industry.
Yeah,
that's what. If you're looking at a future for your child or what industry to go in,
this ain't the one.
Yes, the competency is great. Being trained is great. But ultimately, who are you going to go and work for? We've got too many rogue. There are some good ones, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
with it, and I said this the other day, Katie actually come in. You walk into the construction industry, right, come into this room, what's full of the construction industry, right, who in here is who's running it?
Yeah.
There's no one, is there? No. There's literally no one.
It's fragmented.
Fragmented is the word that the Hackett report come out.
Yeah.
It's that is
fragmented
the word.
all over the place.
So with it as well, again, I think we've done the greatest experience with the Leadership Council recently because a bit of the lack of accountability, believe it or not. But why aren't these people being held accountable for? Not for. I get it. I get there's so many different things in there, but the industry should be held accountable ultimately for the project failing, shouldn't it? Because it's the way it's gone up. Our industry apparently oversees. It's the Leadership Council apparently oversee it.
Yeah.
But no one's held accountable for the HSE's involvement. Were they? They were obviously quite present on the day.
They were on site, yeah, and
Have they had as much change from them? Nothing much has been enforced by them, has it? Because there's no prosecutions have come to this day, have they?
The HSE's budget has been cut.
Yeah,
and it's all right introducing more legislation, which they have. The Building Safety Act and the Fire Act, in line with the existing. I think mostly if the 205 fire legislation was followed properly, that would have been a different story. But
they haven't got the budget to resource people to oversee that.
They can't even enforce existing legislation, yes, you've introduced more, more robust control measures, if you like. But you can have all the legislation in the world and all the policies in the world, but unless it's enforced and managed, you might as well not have it. You know what I mean?
We've got to uphold the law as such. I mean, with a law, you've got.
It's like every company, you'll have this policy, you'll have that policy, and you can take them off the shelf. Yeah, we got all that. No, how do you actually make this work within your company?
Yeah.
And how do you actually implement it and manage it?
Yeah.
You'll find a lot of them, it's all lip service.
Yeah, we see it every single day.
And so they all want this and they all want that,
who's actually doing it? That's why we've actually gone down the route of we want to see people proactively approaching mental health. Show us what you're doing, not send us your policy on the shelf.
Exactly.
Show us evidence, photo form, picture form, evidence-based with talking to your guys. What have you done for them?
I mean, I've worked in health and safety in construction for quite some time. And my experience is you get a company, they might have 150 men. Right, so health and safety-wise, one person.
Yeah.
How are you meant to manage health and safety of a company of a size, say of 100 men?
Yep.
Just one person. If you had to look after all the paperwork side of things, policies, reviewing, blah, you'd never get out of the office.
Yeah.
But they want everything. Oh, it's his job. He's health and safety.
And that is now encompassing the mental health of every worker as well, isn't it? Because exactly. Everyone's put it down to that department. Yeah. It's a whole new, kettle of fish.
So it's, what makes health and safety work is it's everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
And we all have a part to play.
Yeah. Sure.
We've seen a reduction in injuries and fatalities this year. But, going forward, I would advise anyone, even new people coming into the industry, no matter what, always look after yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You are number one, isn't it?
If it don't feel right, it's not right.
Yep.
If you don't feel safe, stay out of it.
And that's the thing again.
If you don't want to work in the rain, don't work in the rain.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at temperatures. What is the safe temperature to work at outside?
Yeah.
There's a minimum, but there's no maximum in this country. So the HSE are looking at temperatures outside.
With global warming saying it's rising every year, isn't it? And we're getting hotter temperatures. It's got to happen somewhere.
I would say that the NASC would write their own guidance in advance of any legislation coming out.
Well, this is the thing with that as well, isn't it? Everyone's, and rightly so, and it's brilliant, the association's going, right, we need to write our own guidances from that. Is there an association that oversees all the associations for all this great work that's going in where it can feed into?
There's only there's a PAS 91, which is the body that kind of, if you're auditing a company, you have to, your audit process has to satisfy their criteria.
Yeah.
So
who oversees the PAS as such? Who's the kind of?
I don't. There's a
There's another association,
another avenue to go down. But the NASC, I mean, they produce some great guidance. Their mental health and well-being guidance was produced in, when was it? 2019. Yeah. That's still in place now. SG 38.
Okay.
But that is a brilliant document.
Yeah.
And they produce guidance on everything. Most of it's free on the internet.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting, isn't it? And have you seen much change in the scaffold world since Grenfell? Way things are designed. Is there any regulations within scaffolding itself because of Grenfell have changed, or is that fairly?
No, Grenfell hasn't affected the scaffold industry. I mean, TG21, we've had advances. It's always evolving and getting better. Through the NASC.
Yeah.
They've developed software for scaffolds that don't require design, but they're compliant within a standard.
Yeah.
TG 2021. They've just developed one for system scaffolding.
Yep.
Which is brilliant. But their guidance is ever changing and ever being updated.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, for sure. Have you got any involvement with Grenfell going forward with the contractors who are there? Or is anyone come to you about any lessons learned?
I'm totally out of it now.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the time, I was heavily involved with Grenfell, but I wrote a report of the how the scaffold was constructed.
Did you?
I've still got that report. It's quite a thick document.
Yeah.
Still got that report. I've still got all the air monitoring reports. I've got over 300 and odd photographs of Grenfell.
Yeah.
Inside, outside, everywhere.
Yeah.
It was a.
Would you have the phone call come? Could you come and help us, or just consult with us to support?
Yeah, I would.
Going forward.
Going forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Grenfell, yeah. I mean,
we can show that this is where we are now. This is what it's like. There's so much room. How much lessons learned, isn't it? Ultimately, if they're not getting back in touch with you, I think something's wrong straight away. Personally,
I mean, I was there obviously with a number of other people from inception. So when the tragedy happened,
Is there teams on place now keeping an eye on that? There must be inspection teams on there. Like you
say,
the dots are in the heart
there. Yeah. Well, your scaffolding inspections are statutory.
Yeah.
By law.
Because it's so forgotten. Everyone thinks that's sitting there with no presence in amongst it.
Yeah.
But there's construction workers, engineers, still to today overseeing.
Oh yes.
All of that.
Yes.
and it winds me up that you don't actually see any focus in this mental health game of construction, realising, I get it, it's the worst case scenario, there's not much else could be worse, as case obviously the Grenfell thing, but why isn't there being no press put around the construction guys, the work that's gone into it to do that? Because politics and emotions, everything aside, it's an incredible engineering piece, isn't it? What you've done, and the lessons learned off the back of that, what can help the industry in case of disasters like that.
But incredible feats of engineering in scaffolding go on every day of the week.
Yeah.
But none of it is kind of,
There's so much cool stuff, good stuff, really beneficial stuff.
The NASC highlight a lot of, good stuff, positive stuff within the industry. But I think construction as a whole, including scaffolders, I mean, we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
As in how we're employed, mental health, everything.
I thought about this because I get it, and we've had it as ground workers, and we're very much, we're lower than the low because we keep us going, our careers go down. Scaffold's always going up, should we say? But I've always thought about it just with some small jobs we've done, and I looked at this yesterday with the bricklayers. The level of mathematics that those guys know, aside from actually doing the job, is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple of old boys before, the bricklayers on a little job, and literally just like boom, and angles and brickworks and calcs and everything they're doing.
Pythagoras' theorem.
All of that.
Right
and scaffolding
triangles.
Again, the little job it was on, it was only a small one that I was part of, just doing all the utilities for a little house build. And even the scaffolders coming on. There's only a 3-man gang, courtesy of PDC, Paul Casey's team.
Oh, yeah.
And come round and just going around a little 3-story house, like the maths that goes into it, and like I say, all of it in the levels, and
they was flanning in you.
Yeah, it's just Meccano.
They was giving you a load of flannel. Yeah, and you're going, really? Oh yeah.
Oh, it looks a big job. But with it though, like it's not just
talking about point loading and UDL. What's UDL? Oh, that's the universal distributed load on the platform.
That's another for grand or two going.
So many kilonewtons per square metre and all that.
Yeah. But there is, and it's taken for granted, isn't it? It is, because don't get me wrong, to the outside community, I know it is, because groundworkers get it on, but people will look at scaffolds and just see a bunch of nutcase guys who chuck a load of child up their nose at the weekend.
Well, it's not the case.
It's not the case.
No,
and I say that because that's the same what it's looked at as bricklayers and also as construction workers, groundworkers myself.
You might have that element, but it's a minority.
Yeah, and like I say, you go to different, that's where you get these different levels of companies, don't you? And we've seen it to the highest of heights.
The physicality of scaffolding alone, I mean, it is heavy on your body.
Yeah.
And over the years, I mean, I've suffered from, golfer's elbow, they call that.
Yeah,
tennis elbow, but that's golfer's elbow. I got it in both arms.
Yeah.
But I mean, the weight on your body is over time.
And yesterday there was a punch bag machine at this event. I keep referring to it.
And
within that top 10 was some of the top bricklayers there.
Yeah.
So it's not an uncanny. There was 2,000 people there, but I know two of the guys, Charlie Collison and Ash Mahoney, were both in there. They're banging as the score comes up. But they were both in that top 10. That's not uncanny. They're some of the fittest people in this room. They're athletes. Yeah, there's a reason why. They're doing what they do at that level. So if you do want to be the best, you're the best, and you're going to see it.
Like any trade, I mean, if you can be a tradesman and not really, encompass it, to its full potential with that passion. But if you wanted to, you could. Yeah. And with scaffolding, yes, you've got scaffolders, but then you've got other scaffolders who really, the technicalities of scaffolding.
I really see it in my head. You've literally sparked it, and in my mind, the way it moves isn't very normal. I get, but this whole finding the special forces of construction workers out there and bring them together.
Well, yeah.
For the likes of not just literally the social side of it or the community, just for when there's fucking disasters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and how those people can help.
Well, you've got all different types of scaffolders, that work in different industries, from commercial to street work to site work, oil rigs. It's all a different, it's a different way of working.
Yeah.
And obviously emergency workers as well.
Yeah.
But that encompasses a whole spectrum of work where you'd end up with about 10 different special forces.
Yeah, there we go. We have the French Foreign Legion, and we have the Special Boat Service, Special Secret.
Yeah.
And then, how's ScaffGap going in the world of ScaffGap?
Yeah, ScaffGap's plodding along, increasingly gaining sales.
Is it good?
Its uses. Yeah.
So tell us just for the promotion of it now as well. ScaffGap is ultimately a gap.
Yeah, eliminating gaps on working platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. www.scaffgap.co.uk.
Brilliant. And I always find it fun because if something falls from a scaffolding, it falls for a gap, what it does regularly, and I know that because I've been on the head a few times, the contractor, whoever's in charge of it, is liable, aren't they? So they've got to eliminate that risk.
Yes.
Use ScaffGap.
Well, you can mitigate the risk. You have to stop stuff falling from scaffold platforms at source.
Yeah.
So it's no good putting in, an exclusion zone below.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop it fall. It's still going to fall, but it might land in there, might not hit anybody, but it could bounce and hit something, and you don't know where it's going to end up. So, and the main reason I invented ScaffGap was to eliminate that inherent gap on the working platform.
Yeah.
So nothing can fall down through it.
Yep.
So if we look at the worker height regulations and the requirements for working platforms, it clearly states in the worker height regs, there shall be no gap.
Yep.
Where there is a likelihood of falling
like
material.
Our well formation table here.
Do scaffolders and scaffold companies want it? No, they don't. Until the principal contractor says you will use something to close that gap.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It don't have to be my product, but
it should be.
There is a requirement.
I'll say that.
There is a requirement to prevent and eliminate anything falling from scaffold platforms.
And I know,
and that does the job. My product.
We got the information from the Health and Safety Executive the other day. I sent out for details on the fatalities in construction over the past 3 years under the Information Disclosure Act, and they sent them all to us. A lot of falls from height. I know it's obviously bodies coming down rather than materials landing on people, but
it is segregated. Yeah, they do specify falling objects.
Yeah,
from scaffold platforms.
Yeah.
The NASC do a good yearbook. And they analyse how accidents occur.
Yeah.
And they categorise them into different.
Yep. Fair play. And how's the other side again, the consultancy side of it?
As busy as I want to be.
Yeah. All over the place, all over London and South East.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of work with Griffin Scaffolding.
Okay.
They're very good. And a few other people.
Where are they based, Griffin? I've seen the name about.
They're everywhere.
Are they? Yeah. I've seen them.
They've got an office in Holloway Road.
Yep. Yeah.
They're very good guys.
North London.
Good guys.
Yeah.
But there's, with construction sport, I mean, I think you're doing great work, and I think there's avenues to explore within the scaffolding world with your charity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good guys in it.
Yeah.
And
that's the people we like.
Yeah. There's a lot of good guys there.
And the good for you. The thing from us as well, I think. The only thing what's getting there is we are relentless with it, really. We don't stop him. We're not a class.
Well, you have to be, yeah.
Yeah, and we actually had this chat yesterday. I'm not a CEO who's taken the job for a few years. In a few years, I'll be somewhere else. So like, this is our life. The boys might leave me and ditch me, but I'm like, this is my life. I'll put my life into this, and I'm not here on being placed in a position. We're here to. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I've known you a long time. And,
we've a few years now, isn't it?
With
UK construction.
We've had many discussions.
Yeah.
But I'm fully behind, obviously, what you're, the message you're sending out there.
Yeah.
And the brilliant stuff you're doing.
Yeah, no, I hugely appreciate
and
all the love and support, John.
If I can help in any other way, through introduction into, a more of a wider community within the scaffold industry, I will do.
Yeah, massive. No, I really appreciate it. We are on that now, as Katie said in the previous podcast. We are turning on the heat now to get people up there. I'll talk to the boys about creating our road to 100, of getting 100 companies behind the 100 Club.
I will explore the avenue with the NASC.
Yeah.
I'll speak to Mr. Steve Kearney.
Yeah.
And see if we can invite you to do, a presentation at one of the Health and Safety Committee meetings.
Yep.
That would be great.
Yeah,
I'll have a chat with Steve, and if you can get on board with, and you would be a massive benefit for the clientele of the NASC, the member companies.
Yep.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
What we're really loving and seeing as well is the companies that support us already. They started to, at first, it's Steve, what events you doing, what events you doing, what events you doing. And we got to a stage now, I'm like, we can't keep on doing these events because our companies that support us are doing events. The companies that are working with us are doing events for us. Yeah. So we have to show presence at those events. Yeah. So it's got to a lovely stage where we're like,
you're just taking part.
We're just taking part and taking the glory. Yeah. But the ripple effect of what we're doing is them going, right, we're going to do something in partnership with you guys, or just in support, or just in general with our workforce. And this is working now. And like people are naturally starting to go, oh, actually, they are getting a good bit of press construction support, and they are putting themselves out there. We've got the podcast, all the social media. We want a little bit of that market. Can we have a little bit of that press? I was like, put an event together. We'll chuck you out on it.
It all goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
It just keeps that circle. It's like, and we're growing a good audience. LinkedIn's been a brilliant one for us, and the podcast, we've got some analytics in the new impact report. Yeah. And we're a small in there, but we're growing and we're consistent week in week. We're not missing a week. But the thing is, it's growing, and people know that we're not only just being a charity that can support you by saying that mental health's bad. I don't even like talking about mental health in that way. So let's just go out and enjoy ourselves. We bring happiness, depression sorts itself out.
There is a huge marketing side of your business, obviously, to make it grow. Yeah. And your marketing strategies for that is quite important. It's like the NASC. They've just brought on a new guy, CEO for the NASC.
Oh, really? Yeah.
His vision, and he's looking at America. He's looking at global kind of affiliations. Yeah, through the scaffold industry. And it's amazing what he's doing. Clive Dickin.
Yeah,
is his name. Yeah.
I started listening to it last night driving back. Once I dropped Katie off actually from Epping to where I am out here, it's only 35 minutes, something like that. I quickly switched to the marketing. I looked at some marketing podcasts around Red Bull, the drink.
Hold the drink.
Oh. Yeah.
And the damage that does.
Yeah, well, aside from that, and I don't even drink it. And I even thought to myself, I might have a can on the podcast. I thought, no, I don't, because I don't promote the fact of what the drink is. Yeah. The drink, aside from it, if you look at the marketing and how it goes strategy is unbelievable. They've just bought Newcastle Falcons Rugby Club. Really? And they're becoming Newcastle Red Bulls now, they're called. Oh, right. And they are obviously a low-cost club because they're about to go. They were struggling for years, didn't they?
Brilliant for the club.
Massive. And the community, even for the game, because everyone's going to go on a bit of that, but you've got the balls, and the balls represent power, and the sun, what's behind those balls, represents energy, and it's how you can bring that. And there's another one in there I can't quite remember, but and it's all about this sport is high energy sport they're doing, and adrenaline, and it's about adrenaline, and that's obviously what the drink gets your energy up. But it all ties in. So the Austrian guy got behind the two guys who run it, the guy from Thailand who invented it as such from his pharmaceutical background. Yeah. Partnered up with, I'm sure it's an Austrian guy, come together, but the Austrian guy realised what the power of this thing is and how we can take it. But he was innovation and how we can, if we create these massive sports and extreme sports and get this guy jumping from the rocket or from that, obviously, outside the atmosphere into it, how that hooks the viewer and the passion for that sport ties in with this drink.
Probably succeed, but at the end of the day, they're selling something that's
not very good.
Not very good.
No, exactly.
So you're selling something that is really good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why we're selling water. Where's that easy? We're Peckham Springs. We're literally just selling water. But that is, again, with it as well. We just literally handed out over 1,000 bottles at Super Trail this week. It might even be more. I haven't done the calculations on it, actually. I've got half a pallet in the back of the van. But with the water thing, I was like, I'm fed up with people ringing me on Monday saying people telling me I feel depressed on Mondays. I'm like, do you know why? I'm like, you've just put 45 beers down your neck over 3 nights and you've not had a touch of water. So why don't we start by hydrating yourself? It's like, it's not a breakthrough in science. It's like, just hydrate yourself.
I watched the other podcast and he's got to mention Richard Stewart.
Yeah, Richard Stewart,
he's doing
Rule
well.
one. He's doing well, isn't he? Yeah, the 3 wagons he's got at the moment, 3 lorries, isn't he?
I've got to go and visit him at some point.
Yeah.
See how he's doing.
He's just on the he's on the 128.
He's the future. Yeah. He's a young man.
switched on boy, isn't he?
Set up a scaffold firm.
Yeah.
And he wants to do the right thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And he wants to, make the right moves.
Yeah.
But he's passionate.
Yeah.
And he's a grafter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's same with you. Equally, your passion for what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's unstoppable.
Yeah, for sure. And you can't. That's the thing. Yeah, Richard, he's been great, and he's been on loads of walks with us. He keeps on saying he's now qualified for a new bit of merchandise. We palm him off with an old second-hand shirt or something, and he keeps on coming. Then Remy's on it as well with us.
Remy's, she's great as well.
What a character, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Dad, Terry, he's done. I can't stop recommending the bloke. A friend of mine in, actually Katie Glenn was actually mentioned it. She said, I need a painter and decorator down the road. I said, well, do we know Remy? Give told to Terry.
Yeah, lovely people.
Yeah, it's good people. That's the thing. Aside from the work outside the game, they're just good people.
Same as Paul Casey.
Yeah, but what a man.
Gentleman.
Yeah. So Paul's literally, Paul brought us together, didn't he? Paul brought all this together, ultimately. I walked into UK Construction Week that first time in Birmingham just before COVID. This great big scaffold guy. He come across as camp as you like when I spoke to him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he had his tweed jacket on. Chris Harker with him, and Taz as well was with him.
Right. Yeah.
And Ben King. Do you know Ben?
Ben,
yeah. So Ben, Pyramid Scaffolding,
Yeah.
service engineering. Ben said to me, his office is just down the road now. He's at the bottom of Market Hill, Ben said to me, Steve, I'm not going to be there, but when you go, PDC Scaffolding are there. Give there's a guy called Paul there a shout. And I went over there, said hello to him, and I didn't know anyone at the exhibition. I stayed there for a couple of days. And I walked around for a few days. And every time I walked around, I just went back over and plocked with them. And every time I went over to plock, so just good people.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he just 2 weeks after, I rung Paul up and I said to him, Paul, I need to pop into you and see you. And he went to me, what is it? No, he said, how much? And that's the first thing he said. And I thought it says 400 quid a month. He went, no problem, come see me, we'll sort it out. And that was it, day one. And then he brought us into it. He said that, WRS Contracts said that, GVR Solutions said that, and First Response Site Services said it. And those four companies upfronted us 400 quid a month between them, covered us and got some things, got the ball rolling. And when they said yes, I knew it's a numbers game now. If a few people keep saying yes.
Well, if you're running, what you're running and operation-wise, you've got to pay rent, you've got to pay everything. You've got to pay wages. You need it. It has to be continuous.
100%. And this is the beautiful in the marketing side of what we're doing now. We know even the podcast, being a charity podcast, ultimately, is we need to get our message out. Charity Commission and what we go as a charity is to get our message out to people. And I can talk to 10 people on site, or I can put it through form of this, and we get to thousands. So,
I think you know the right people to take you there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's the thing. And it's funny, that journey of finding those people is fun and interesting. And the ones who can't take you there.
I think you will succeed, Steve.
Yeah, no, John, I hugely appreciate all your support over the years. And your podcast, first podcast here, but second one with Construction Sport with myself.
Brilliant.
And
fantastic.
Likewise, if we can help.
I'll come across a bit better than I did last time.
Very professional. You're getting very professional.
Oh, no.
Let's go. I'll refer back to that. Though. We'll go back on the podcast. Back of the van. I think we sound a bit more professional. The podcast, it all looks the 4K, the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
It's all a bit more professional. We're not corporate, but we're professional.
Very
good for that one. Cheers, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.